One of the most powerful realizations that we can have is understand the nature of the human experience. In other words, why we act the way we do. And I'll try and simplify what could potentially be a very complex subject with this. We have basically two parts of ourselves: the ego, which is the belief in the stories and thoughts, it's future and future and past space, survival instinct. And that part is our false self, the part that's a construct, that's not actually very wise or present or aware of what's going on, that's always worried about the future and the past. And back in the days when we lived in the jungle, that helped us survive because we're always alert to danger. But now in present day time, it's an overactive part of us that's very dysfunctional. And it's that part of us that's afraid of any kind of change. One of the most amazing realizations is when you see a child being taken away from an abusive mother, and this has happened hundreds of times, and the phenomena is amazing. Here's a young child that could actually be physically abused by a mother, that when you want to take the child away from the mother, they will yell and kick and scream wanting to stay with the mother. And that's the ego. It's so afraid of change, it will stay in an unhealthy situation because it doesn't know any better. It thinks that maybe what's out there is worse. So it will literally cling on to something that's unhealthy and unsafe. It's the same thing that keeps us in a job that we hate. How is it possible that we could work at a job for a year or 10 years or 40 years that we hate? And we don't even realize that there's something better for us because we're so afraid of change. We will stay in an unhealthy situation. It's the same dynamic, which hopefully you'll be open enough to see this. But when I was growing up, there was abuse in the Catholic Church, and it was horrible. And most people didn't want to talk about it or look at it. And I talked about it, and people shunned me because I said, this is messed up. And then here they actually make a movie about proving that there was very, very bad things going on in the Catholic Church. And a lot of people in the Catholic Church looked at that and said, oh my God, that's horrible. But a lot of people went like this and said they just kept going to church. Here's a priest that's abusing their kids and they just keep going to church. Why? It's the ego. The false self is so afraid to be free. It wants to keep the identity that I will take care of you. I'll look after you. If you just don't look at all these other things and let's just stay focused on surviving. It doesn't look at reality. It doesn't look at what's really going on. It's based on fear. It's whole survival. The identity of the ego is whole survival. To keep it alive is you must keep these blinders on. You can't look about truly what's going on in the moment. You have to believe in some fear scenario or story that keeps the construct of fear important. Like you have to be afraid, you have to be afraid, you have to be afraid. It's complete insanity. But if you look at that, that's what enables people to be enslaved. Think about it. Why would someone continue to have a relationship with someone that's abusing them? It's complete insanity. But we all do that in little ways. And if you want freedom, take a look at how your ego might be not allowing you to see something that's true, that's right in front of you. And notice that tendency to get lost in fear thoughts, stories. They're seductive. They're powerful. That's what addiction is. And that's what the news has been used forever to get us to pay attention to this. Pay attention. These are really important things to know. And all they're doing is seducing you into being afraid. Once you're afraid, then you're manipulated and controlled. And you won't see the sunshine. You won't be free. You won't be happy. And then no will tell you, no, you need to know what's going on in the world. That's not what's going on in the world. That's a story, a narrative that's getting you believe in some fear thought. And it's important to understand that you have a choice. You can either be lost in fear, believe the ego that's always telling you about the future and the past, but will never let you experience freedom. It's afraid of freedom because it doesn't exist in freedom. Freedom is waking up to who you are. Waking up to being present and alive. And from that comes great wisdom. There's a great movie, The Last Samurai. Tom Cruise is learning how to fight like a samurai. And he's losing. He's a great warrior, but only knows to fight from fear. He doesn't know how to be centered. And a young samurai tells him, too many mind. Means it's in his head all the time. He's not present. He's not aware. When you're present and aware, you're centered, you're relaxed, you're calm. You can move quickly and freely because you're not worried about the future and the past. You're present to what's going on now. You can live from that presence now, navigate life with so much more finesse. Fear does not make you act better. It makes you stupid. Short message, but powerful. If you take to heart, practice being centered, be in your heart space, and you'll move through life with greater finesse and ease. Fear does not make for a good way to go through life. It's a lie, it's an illusion. Turn off the TV, stop listening to fear, follow your heart, be centered, and come from there. And you'll see things more clearly. You'll see that there's a lot going on that you didn't want to look at before. And it's good news, because once you own the fact that you're a sovereign being, you're powerful, a warrior, a goddess, a lion, whatever, you're far more powerful than we've even begun to tap into. Use that power and have an amazing day. I love you.